Every choice you make plants a seed for your soul's eternity. Inspired by Edgar Cayce. What happens to a soul that thrives on cruelty, greed, or betrayal? Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet, saw beyond the veil of death, revealing a universe governed by a cosmic law so precise it feels alive. This isn't a random world where evil slips through unnoticed. Every act, every thought is recorded in the soul's ledger, shaping its journey beyond the body. The most malevolent souls, those who choose darkness with eyes wide open, face a fate not of divine wrath, but of their own making, a mirror reflecting the truth they tried to bury. Picture the moment of death as a doorway. For those who lived with kindness, it opens to a soft, warm light, like coming home. But for those who fed on others' pain, the passage is a shock. Cayce's visions describe the mirror of truth, a moment where the soul's illusions shatter. Here, you don't just see your life, you live it again, but through the eyes of everyone you hurt. A bully feels the shame of his victim, the fear in their heart. A liar tastes the trust they broke, the lives unraveled by their words. This isn't a dream. It's a reality sharper than any knife, where every wound you caused cuts you instead. This mirror is the first step into a self-created hell. Cayce taught that we don't just pass into the afterlife, we build it. The most evil souls, drunk on power or hatred, are pulled into umbral zones, shadowy realms that match their inner corruption. These aren't fiery pits, but states of being cold and heavy, where hope feels like a forgotten word. Surrounded by others as cruel as themselves, they claw for relief, finding only emptiness. It's a loneliness that chokes, a hunger that grows but never fills. This is cosmic justice. You live in the world you made with no one to blame but yourself. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Galatians. In 2024, over 1.4 million violent crimes were reported in the U.S. Each one a choice that echoes into eternity. FBI Crime Statistics, 2024. What does this mean for the soul behind such acts? If these words stir something in you, a memory of truth you didn't know you held, you're not alone. Subscribe to this channel, not just for stories, but for clarity. Let's uncover the soul's path together. You know that knot in your chest when you hear about a senseless act of cruelty. It's not just sadness, it's your soul whispering, "This matters." The most evil souls, those Cayce saw lost to darkness, don't just fade away at death. They face a psychological unraveling so raw, it redefines pain. This isn't about scaring you. It's about understanding the emotional cost of turning away from love, from the spark that makes you human. When the body dies, the soul steps into a new reality. The lies we tell ourselves. It wasn't that bad. They deserved it. Melt away. In the mirror of truth, the soul relives every harm it caused, not as the doer, but as the done. A parent who neglected their child feels the ache of abandonment, the years of self-doubt that followed. A thief doesn't just see the money they took. He feels the fear of a family left with nothing, the sleepless nights of worry. This isn't a quick flashback. It's a deep, endless dive into the pain you created, every moment, stretched and heavy like a scream that never stops. This is the first chamber of a hell you build yourself. From here, the soul sinks into umbral zones, places that aren't places but feelings, cold, thick like drowning in tar. Here, you're not alone, but you wish you were. Other souls, just as twisted, surround you, each one desperate for something to fill the void. They turn on each other, trying to steal energy, but it's like drinking sand to quench thirst. There's no kindness, no warmth, only the echo of your own malice. Cayce called this karmic immediacy. Every hateful thought you have turns on you instantly, like a snake biting its own tail. A soul that lived for control now feels crushed by its own need, trapped in a loop it can't break. Some souls sink deeper into spiritual decomposition. It's not death, but a crumbling of the mind's higher parts. They lose the ability to dream, to hope, to grow, left with just enough awareness to feel the loss. Imagine knowing you once held light, love, possibility, and threw it away. This regret isn't soft, it's a blade cutting forever. These souls often cling to the physical world, tied to places of their crimes. The murderer haunts the alley where blood was spilled, feeling the victim's fear on repeat. The abuser lingers in the house where they broke trust, a shadow felt by those sensitive to such things. You've walked into a room and felt a chill, haven't you? That's their energy stuck, unable to move forward. This truth might feel heavy, but it's also a wake-up call. You thought you were just living, but what if every choice is sculpting your soul's future? The most evil souls show us what happens when we ignore that truth. They're not monsters. They're mirrors reflecting what we could become if we let darkness win. But you're here listening, feeling. That means your soul is still reaching for light. If this stirs something deep, a truth you didn't know you needed, share it with someone who's ready to hear. Your words could be their lifeline. This suffering isn't random. It's a process of peeling away of layers until the soul faces itself. Some call it punishment, but it's more like surgery, painful, precise, meant to heal. The soul that caused pain feels it magnified, not to torture, but to understand. A leader who starved his people feels their hunger not once, but endlessly, until the lesson sinks into their core. This is the emotional weight of cosmic law. You can't run from yourself, not forever. To understand the fate of the most evil souls, we need to step back to see the universe not as a courtroom, but as a school. Carl Jung, the explorer of the human psyche, called this the work of the shadow. The parts of ourselves we hide, deny, or twist. For Jung, facing the shadow was how we grow whole. But what happens when a soul doesn't just hide its shadow, but builds a throne from it? Cayce's mirror of truth is the shadow's final stand, a moment where the soul sees every dark choice laid bare. There's no escaping it, no talking your way out. The soul that lied to itself now drowns in truth. Jung said the most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. The Archetypes and the Collective Unconscious, 1959. For the most evil, this acceptance is agony because their self is a tapestry of harm. Their suffering isn't a sentence. It's the natural result of choosing separation over connection, ego over empathy. Cayce's umbral zones are Jung's shadow, writ large, a realm where the soul lives in the darkness it loved. This mirrors the ancient Greek idea of Moira, the fate spun by the gods for every soul. In myths, those who defied Moira, like Sisyphus, doomed to roll his boulder forever, faced consequences that fit their crimes. The souls in Cayce's chambers of purification live this myth. The torturer, whose spirit is broken and remade endlessly, is Sisyphus with a darker burden. The manipulator, stripped of all control, learns what it means to be a pawn. Each chamber matches the evil physical harm, control, hatred, greed. Time here isn't linear. A second of pain feels like a century, an eternal moment where suffering never fades. Buddhism offers another lens. The wheel of Dharma teaches that our actions create karma, binding us to suffering until we learn. The Dhammapada says, the evildoer suffers here and hereafter. He suffers in both worlds. Verse 15. Cayce's evil souls are caught in this wheel, their every cruel thought reborn as torment in the umbral zones. They're not punished by a judge, they're trapped by their own refusal to let go of hatred to choose love instead. Their suffering is samsara, the cycle of pain, until they learn what they ignored in life. Viktor Frankl, who found meaning in the horrors of Auschwitz, adds a modern voice. He wrote that suffering, when faced with courage, can forge purpose, man's search for meaning. 1946. But the most evil souls reject this chance. Their chambers where pain is magnified, where awareness never sleeps, are the opposite of Frankl's redemption. Yet even here there's a seed of hope. The companion, the higher self that watches silently, is Frankl's meaning waiting to be found. It's the soul's reminder, you chose this, but you can choose again. These chambers aren't chaos. The first breaks those who caused physical pain, their spirit torn apart as they tore others. The second humbles those who controlled, leaving them powerless under forces they can't fight. The third, the fractured mirror, splinters the consciousness of those who sowed division, leaving them lost in isolation. The fourth empties those who hoarded wealth, filling them with a hunger no treasure can satisfy. Each soul knows exactly why it's there, its awareness sharp, its pain unending. This is cosmic law, not vengeance but balance. Your comments are more than words, they're sparks of connection. Leave yours below. Someone out there needs to hear your truth. Cayce's visions don't end in despair. Even the darkest soul isn't abandoned by the universe. Cosmic law isn't a trap, it's a teacher guiding every soul toward transformation. This is the inevitable return, a truth older than time. No soul is lost forever. Through the cosmic heartbeat, a pulse of divine light reaches even the deepest shadows, planting seeds of change. It's slow, spanning what feels like eons, but it's certain. In the depths of suffering, a soul may pause, asking, "Why am I here?" This first question isn't forced. It's the divine spark flickering, never fully gone. It cracks the soul's prison, letting in a sliver of light. Over countless cycles, this crack grows, leading to the great remembering. The soul recalls its origin, its tie to the divine. Broken by pain, it enters a spiritual infant state, raw but ready to heal. Guided by compassionate beings, it learns to hold light again, to love, to grow. This isn't just a story, it's a call to your soul. Subscribe, not to follow, but to awaken. What if you're not broken? What if you're remembering your purpose? Every choice you make now, kindness, honesty, courage, builds a bridge to light. The most evil souls show us the cost of darkness, but you're here listening. That means your soul is choosing. Choose love, choose truth. Your eternity is watching.